In this slide, we will look into the IBGP configurations. Okay, so in previous slide, we have seen how we can configure eBGP, but in this slide, I will let you know how we can use the IBGP configuration. So if you would like to know the differences between the eBGP and the IBGP, you can see my previous slide, right? So when we configure the IBGP, at that point of time, it has to be a same AS number. If you remember, for eBGP, the AS number must be different, but in terms of the IBGP, the AS number is same. Let's say we have the router R1 and router R2, and we are configuring the IBGP between router 1 and router 2, then the AS number will be same. Okay. IBGP need not to be directly connected. It means we can configure the neighborship in IBGP between the directly connection link that we have right now between R1 and R2, and we can also set up a neighborship between indirectly connected link. Let's say the loopback 1 and then loopback 2. There is no any hard and fast rule in terms of IBGP that it has to be directly connected. If you remember, for the eBGP, there was a rule that first of all it has to be directly connected. Okay, and then if we would like to connect or establish neighborship between two indirectly connected link, we could do it. So in this case, the TTL value has to be incremented. But in terms of the IBGP, the TTL value is always fixed, which is 255. Since there is no any hard and fast rule between a directly connection and indirectly connection, then the TTL value is always 255. So therefore, we do not need the multi-hop command or the disable connected check. But in terms of eBGP, if we would like to establish the neighborship between the router 1 and router 2, let's say router 1 and the router 2, and if they are the indirectly connection, then we have to increase the TTL value. Okay, but in terms of the IBGP, which is not required, so therefore we do not need to use the multi-hop command or the disable connected check, and use the update source loopback if the neighborship is forming using loopback. So it means if you are forming the neighborship with the loopback, okay, between loopback, if you form the neighborship, then you have to specify where the traffic is or where the packet is initiating from. So in terms of the directly connected link, the traffic is always initiated from the nearest neighbor. It means if you are configuring the neighborship between R1 and R2, and since they are directly connected, then the packet will always initiate from the physical interface, okay, R1 and R2 respectively. If you are using the loopback, then by default the packet will initiate from the physical interface, but you have to specify where the packet is initiating from. So in this case, you have to use the update source loopback command. So this is the syntax if you are using the loopback for creating the neighborship. So you just use neighbor command, specify the loopback address, and use the update source loopback command for specifying where the packet is initiating from. And this is the normal syntax if you are creating or establishing the neighborship between the directly connected link. You just need to use the router BGP and specify the AS number. So in this case, we have the 200 and then neighbor and the neighbor IP to whom you are forming the neighbor, and the remote AS, which is 200, because we are using the eBGP. So in eBGP, the AS number is always same. Okay. So guys, let me take you to my practical screen where I will be using the same diagram, so you guys will be more clear about the configuration of the IBGP. Okay, so let's see. So this is the diagram that I have here, which I have configured. So here what we will look into this, we have this diagram R1, R2, R3 and R4, and these are the interfaces that we have configured between R1 and R2, R2 and R3, and R3 and R4, and R4 and R1. Okay, so first of all, we will create the neighborship between the router. Okay, so let me show you the interface first that are pre-configured. Okay, so in R1 you see the interface has already been pre-configured. So from R1 we will be creating the neighborship between R1 and R2, and then R2 and R4. Okay, so let we do this. So configuration terminal, we will go to the router and BGP AS number is 200, and then I will use neighbor command 192.168.1.2, which is at router 2, and we have to specify the remote AS. Since this is the IBGP, the remote AS will be same, which is 200, and we have to specify towards the router 4 as well, which is 4.2, and then remote AS, which is 200. Okay, and then we will advertise the network. So in R1 we have the network 1.1.1 in terms of loopback. So let we advertise the same network from R1 to specify the mask, which is 255.255.255.255. Okay, so guys, whenever you are advertising the network in BGP, always make sure that network should be present in the routing table. So let's say if we have the network present in the routing table, so we have to see the routing table. So see, we have the network which is 1.1.1 already present in our routing table with the same subnet, okay, /32 subnet. So if this is not present, then you cannot advertise the same network in BGP. So make sure that you have this, okay. And then we will see about the router 2. In router 2, I will show you the interface which has already been pre-configured. Okay, should we have any protocol pre-configured? No, we do not have. So let me configure the BGP. So router BGP, which is 200, and then we'll use the neighbor command, which is 192.168.1.1, and then a remote AS, which is 200. Okay, and then from router 2 we will provide another interface which is 2.2, and then a remote AS which is 200. Okay, and then we'll use the network command. So we have the network command here, well, the same, and we'll specify the mask 255.255.255.255. Okay, so what we did here at R2, so we're at R2 and we specify the neighbor between R2 and R3 and between R2 and R1. Okay, so this has been specified, and then we have advertised this network. The same way we will go ahead to the R3, between R3 to R2, and between R3 to R4 we will configure, and then from R4 we will do the same, R4 to R5, and then we will do at R4 to R3. Okay, so let me show you the interface first. So IP interface brief, which is already been pre-configured, and then you will go to configuration terminal, use the command router BGP 200, and then neighbor 192.168.2.1, and then remote AS, which is 200. Same way we will go ahead to the another side 3.1 remote AS, which is 200, and then we'll use the network command. We have the network in terms of 0.03, and the mask will specify, which is 255.255.255.255. Okay, done. Now we will do the same thing in terms of the router 4 configuration terminal. We will use the command router BGP 200, and then neighbor command 192.168.3.2, which is at router 3, and then 200, and then we will specify 4.1, which is at router 1, 4.1, which is at router 1, 200, and then let advertise the network, which we have 4.4.4, and mask should be 255.255.255.255. Okay, done. So first we have advertised the network. Okay, so now what we have the second task. So we have the second task, we should check the neighborship. Okay, we should check the neighborship. So let's check the neighborship now. We will go ahead R1 and we will see the neighborship, show IP BGP summary. We'll use the command to see the neighborship. Okay, so see, from R1 we have 1.2, and we have 4.2. Okay, the neighborship has been established, and this is the network which has been advertised from R1. Okay, 1.1 and 1.2. Okay, so this is the network that R1 has learned. Okay, and 1.2 and 4.2 is a neighborship between R2 and then R4, and this is the AS number. Yeah, so we see the network that the R1 has learned. So R1 has learned a network which is 2.2 and that 4.4. Okay, so 2.2 R1 has learned from the R2, and 4.4 he has learned it from the router 4. Okay, and 1.1 is a local network, that is the next hop is 0.0. Okay, so you see the small I is there, it means the I is the internal, which is the internal network. Okay, which is the internal network that a router 1 has learned. Okay, let's go to the R2, and we use the command show IP basic picture summary, and we will see it 1.1 and that 2.2. Okay, 1.1 which is R1 and 2.2 which is R3, and he has also learned the two prefix. You see the two prefix. Let's see the prefix show IP BGP. Okay, so you see the prefix which is 1.1 from the router 1 and that 3.3 which is from the router 3. Simultaneously, if you go to the router 3 and 4, you will see the same thing, show IP BGP summary. Okay, you will see the neighborship that we have along with the prefixes that he has learned. And you see the router 4, use the same command show IP BGP summary, and you will also see the same that he has neighborship with the 3.2 router 2 and 4.1 which is router 1, and then he has learned the prefixes as well. Show IP BGP command to see the prefixes, then you see he has learned from 1.1 from router 1 and then 3.3 which is from the router 3 and the internal network he has learned. 4.4 which is our next hop, local routes we have. Okay, so now what task we have done? So we have the neighborship, we have checked the neighborship, we have all neighborship up, we have advertised the network. Okay, so this is also completed. And then number 4, we have to check that if we are at R1 and if we see the BGP routing table, you will see that R1 has learned a network which is advertised from the R2 and from the R4. Okay, but the network which is advertised from the R3, the R1 is not learning it. Would you like to see it? Let's see here. You see the network which is advertised from the R3, which is 3.3.3, which is not learning by the R1. Okay, simultaneously if you go to the R3, you will see that R3 has learned the network from R2, from R4, but the network which is advertised between R1 and R3, he has not learned it. Would you like to see it? Then okay, you see we will use the command show IP BGP. Okay, you see he has learned the network which is 2.2.2 advertised from the router 2 as well as 4.4.4 advertised from the router 4, but there is no network that he has learned from the R1. It means R1, the network which is advertised from the R1 is not learning by the R3, and the network which is advertised from the R3 which is not learning by the R1. The same way, the router 4 is learning the network from R1 and then R3, but he is not learning the network which is advertised between R3 and R4. Okay, and then R2 as well, the network he is learning between the router 1 and router 2, between router 2 and router 3, but the network which is advertising between router 4 and router 3, he is not learning it. Would you like to see it? Okay, see 2.2.2, the network which he is learning, the router 2 is a local network, 1.1 is from the router 1 and 3.3.3 is from the router 3, but there is no network of 4.4.4. It means the R2 is not getting the routes which is advertised from the router 4. Okay, So what could be the reason why the R2 is not learning the network which is advertised from the router 4 and R1 and R3 respectively? So this is happening, guys, because of this split horizon rule. Okay. So what is the split horizon rule? So I will be configuring the next slide where I will be explaining to you about the split horizon rule. Okay. So normally, let me explain to you what it is. So split horizon rule says that if you remember in my previous slide where I explain about the BGP loop prevention mechanism. So this is the default mechanism for preventing the loop in BGP. So what we had in IBGP, it says if you have the router 1 and router 2, and if we are advertising a network from router 1 to router 2 or router 2 to router 3, so always BGP append its own AS number. Okay, so that in receiving router, if the router 2 will find its own AS number present in the update, he will deny this update. Okay, this was in terms of the eBGP. And what is for IBGP? Let's say we have the router 1 here and router 2 here and router 3 here. Okay, and we have the IBGP relationships between router 1, router 2 and router 3. A network which is advertised from the router 1, it is going from router 1 to router 2. Okay, and when the router 2 will advertise the same network to router 3, he will not advertise it. Okay, so this is the default mechanism, the loop prevention mechanism we have in IBGP, because for R2 perspective, he has received the update from the IBGP neighbor. Okay, and when the R2 will receive the update from IBGP neighbor, if he has any neighbor to whom he has an IBGP establishment, he will never send this update. Okay, so therefore this is the loop prevention mechanism. So in split horizon rule, what is happening in the split horizon rule? Here the R2 has received the packet, the update from R1, but he has the IBGP relationship with the R2. Because of that, he is not advertising the network to the R3. Therefore, R1 between the R1 and R2, and then R1 and R3, the update which is generated from R1, it has been provided to the R2, and then it has been also given to the R4. But the relationship between R4 and R3, it has an IBGP relationship. Because of that, the update which is sent from the R1, the network which is 1.1, the R4 has learned this network, but he is not advertised this network to the R3. Because of that, R3 which is not learning about the network which is R1. Simultaneously, between R3 and R4, he has the neighborship. Between R3 and R2 also, they have the neighborship. So the network which is 3.3 advertised between the router 3 to router 2 has learned it, router 4 has learned it, but router 1 is not learning this network, and this is happening because of this split horizon rule only. Okay, so what are the different ways that we can get rid of this? Okay, because if we have the split horizon rule, and now let's say from R3 we would like to go to R1, and from R1 we would like to go to R3, so there is no any path. Okay, so since there is no any path, so we will not be able to reach from R1 to the R3 and from the R3 to R1. Okay, so in split horizon rule, we have to use now the full mesh. Okay, and the second options, we have the route reflector. Okay, so these are the two options that we have. The one is the full mesh and the second is the route reflector. Okay, so we have to make the full mesh configuration here if we would like to reach from R3 to R1 or from R1 to R3. So in my next slide, I will be explaining about the split horizon rule, and in split horizon rule, I will explain it to you about how we can configure the full mesh as well as the route reflector. Okay, to avoid this rule to being not advertise the network between two IBGP neighbors. Okay, so let's see the next slide. Okay, thank you.